Prop the Mic, coming to you on Memorial Day. Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. What's going on, Dave?
Yes, sir. We asked for it and we got it. It was looking like this one was going to be over. We're going to have like a week to wait until the NBA Finals, and the Celtics just keep winning.
And they said what they say? Don't let us get one. Don't let us
get one.
Yeah.
Don't give us an extra second on the clock, because that they needed every 10th of a second they had there.
What an exciting game that was.
That was great, because it wasn't just about that last shot. I mean, that last shot was, credit to Derek White for crashing the boards. Everybody else was just kind of watching.
Well, Tatum was right there on the other side.
Tatum
too. Yeah.
was on the opposite side, but he wasn't in good position, so he would have struggled to get a shot off. But even just the Heat comeback before that, Al Horford made a bunch of bad defensive plays against Butler.
So he did have that block on Bam, though. It was pretty good.
He did. That was great. It was just it was a good boxing match. It looked like it was over, and then they just came back, and then I don't know. I don't know how you follow that one up, but I think tonight's going to be equally fun.
And it's just so hard to predict, because if I told you that, Boston wins the game 6, where they shoot under 25% from 3, you'd be like, no way, right? And at the same time, if I told you that, Miami probably should have won the game, was hanging on to win it, and Bam and Jimmy shot a combined under 25% from the field, you also would have said you're crazy, right? It's just this series and these teams are just all over the place.
It's all over the place, but it's really fun basketball.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, we got burgers grilling right now, so we got to make this a quick show.
Yes.
And let's dive into tonight's game. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So Heat at Celtics, game 7. Like you said, the Celtics are -7.5 at home. Total is a whopping 203.5 points. Injuries. I got big news. Gallinari's out for this game.
Oh, what are we going to do?
I love how
no Gallo game.
I love how he keeps appearing on the injury report.
Yes, yeah,
he is. But anyway,
he's on the bench. Sorry, he's on the bench though. He's wearing a nice suit. I saw in game 6 in Miami. He's still looking fresh.
He's getting paid well for not doing anything. I think Brogdon's going to play. That's my guess.
Yeah.
I just saw him come off the RotoWire list. He's still game time decision. But
he wasn't even dressed for the last game.
He wasn't. I also just saw a tweet from somebody saying that he was like warming up, shooting. So
I wouldn't expect much from him, but
not much. I certainly wouldn't put a play out on him.
No.
But yeah, he could play. He could give it a go. Let's talk about game 7 of last year real quick. So just as a reminder, these two teams went to game 7 last year. That game 7 was in Miami. The Heat were the favorites. And again, low scoring affair. The Celtics won that game 100-96. A ton of rebounds in that game. The Celtics had 51 rebounds. The Heat had 44 rebounds.
Wink, wink. Yeah.
First quarter was high scoring though. I'm sorry. I'm looking at game 6. No, yeah. I mean, the Celtics came out. They were up 32-17 to start that game. Looked like kind of like the Celtics are doing this year. They blow away and then they give it up. Heat came back. More or less got it within reason by halftime. Third quarter was close. Boston scored 27. Heat scored 26. Then the fourth quarter, the Heat actually beat the Celtics 21-18, but still lost by 4. So I would expect a similar type of game. Let's start with who you're picking for the game and whether or not you like over or under 203.5.
Like I said, it's so hard. These teams are so all over the place. It's so hard to know what to expect. I think a lot of times going into a game 7, you expect like a tight, weird game with no pace. And in my mind, that favors Miami. That's kind of like how they want to play. That's I think probably, those type of games give them the best chance to win. then at the same time, I could see, if Boston gets out to a quick lead, like some of those threes fall down early, in the first quarter. I could also see this game getting out of hand quickly in that
Yeah.
direction. Also, I think those are probably the two ways it plays out. I think you probably see a lot of zone from Miami in this game. I thought the best they looked when they went on that run in the fourth quarter. They were playing some nice zone defense. I think you probably see some more of it in this game. But if Boston's knocking down threes, that could kind of counterbalance that. So who knows? It's a lot of things that could happen. I like Miami in the points. I think the 7.5 points. That's
Yeah.
my lean here. Are you kind of in the same boat?
Yeah. If I just had to pick a side of the spread, I would say Miami with the points.
Yeah,
Um, like you said, I think it'll either be a very close game or Boston will win by a lot. But I think regardless, it's going to be a low scoring game most likely. So 7.5 points is a lot for a 200 point game.
yeah,
I probably will play, and maybe we can even throw this up on Twitter later. But go back to, I think it was a play that we had for Game 5, where we basically take the Celtics plus 2.5 points, and then and then parlay that with Miami Heat getting, I don't know, it was like 12.5 or 13 and a
yeah.
half points, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just try to middle it so that the Celtics, could lose by a bucket and still win, or
Yeah.
the Heat could lose by 10 plus. So something like that. So, but yeah, if I had to choose, I think the Celtics win the game. I think the Heat cover, and I think probably the under hits as well. All right, so let's
All
uh
right.
let's let's dive into the player props. Let's start on the Heat side. What do you like over there?
All right. I think we were on Caleb Martin early in this series. He hasn't let us down in a single game. I think Boston doesn't obviously really have an answer for him. I think what's so nice about his game right now, he's so decisive, right? He's like
Mm-hmm.
he just like when he gets the ball, like he knows what he's gonna do with it. He knows like if this happens, like he knows what like plan B is. Like I thought that's what happened with Duncan Robinson, where like he had those 2 threes at the end of the game, and he was kind of indecisive, and he had been hot, and like he didn't hit those two. So like I'm just comparing and contrasting the two players. So I just love Martin's game right now.
Yeah.
So I think I like his points over 15.5. In games this season where he's played 38 minutes, he's cleared this in 6 of his last 7, averaging 19 points per game. So I think we go back here. The guy's playing on another level. If the Heat win this game, he will be Series MVP. Um,
Hmm.
and I think we have another big game from Caleb Martin here.
Yeah, I was looking at that one too. Probably 2 or 3 games ago, I said, you know what, let's get off the train because we were on it for so long, but that
Yeah,
was the wrong call. He's actually been really good.
yeah,
Like you said, the whole series. I also looked. I think he plays 40 minutes tonight because the big difference, I think, starting last game or 2 games ago, I don't remember which one. He's in the
hmm
starting lineup now, right? So
yeah,
Love
yes,
basically is not playing. I don't think Love
no,
played a minute last game, right?
no, he didn't. Yeah, he got a DMP coach's decision. Yeah,
Yeah, I could see Love getting a few minutes tonight in the right spot, but again, I don't see Love getting more than like 6, 7 minutes tonight. Martin's going to play pretty much the whole game, 40 plus minutes.
yeah,
He's had 2 games this year where he played 40 plus minutes, and Jimmy Butler played, right? I think that's an
hmm
important distinction.
yeah,
That's a little higher than your 38-minute mark, but still, 2 games. One was the game a couple nights ago where he had 21 points. The other was back in December. He had 17 points against the Clippers, who are a pretty good defensive team as well. So
yeah,
I think this is a good one. A lot of it depends on his 3-point shooting.
yep,
In both of those games, he had 4 3-pointers. So
yeah.
there's probably some value as well in Martin over 2.5 threes as well, which is plus 140. What do you think about that?
That leads me to my next play.
Okay.
So another one we actually we cashed on this in the first quarter of of Game 6. Martin 10 points and 2 threes. I'm not going there again because I think I don't think you need to take him down to 10 points really. Since obviously I'm on him on the 15.5 here. But a nice parlay. I've been leaning on these parlays to try to get some decent odds here. So he was a rebounding machine in the last game. So I liked 6 rebounds and 2 threes, and that's -110. The 6 rebounds he's done in 5 straight, and 8 of his last 10 when he plays 38 minutes, averaging 8 rebounds. Uh, He's also done the 2+3s in 8 of his last 10 when he plays
Yeah.
38 plus minutes, and he's had 4+3s in 4 of his last 7 when he's played 38 plus minutes. So I might even look for you may do a ladder there, but in any event, I like the six rebounds and 2 threes. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I don't like it as much as the points and the threes, just because you don't get the
The
correlation value.
correlation, yeah, yeah.
But that's also baked into the odds, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you
Yes,
parlay two props that actually have nothing to do with each other,
to get
you'll
better,
actually get
higher
better
odds.
odds. When
Yeah,
you
yeah.
put two that correlate, you actually get worse odds. So I'd be comfortable doing like 12 points and 2 threes if that gets you to +100. I didn't actually check that one,
Yeah.
but I think this is good too. I think
I think you'd be close. It'd be about. I think you'd be the 14. I think you'd need 14 points and two
14.
threes. Yeah,
Okay. All right. Well,
something like
14 is
that.
probably pretty good too, but then you're getting pretty close to 14 and a half. You might as well just play the points straight up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I like the rebounds. It's like we said in a game 7. I think there's going to be a lot. It's going to be tight. Most likely, I think there's going to be extra rebounds to go around. It's kind of typical of a game 7. So I don't mind, especially when he have 15 rebounds in game
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, and
So
don't underestimate what we said at the start of this. The Kevin Love being out of the game. Remember,
yeah.
one rebound every 2.8 minutes in this series. It's probably
Mm.
closer to 2.7 or something like that. So that he sucks up a lot of rebounds that that normally
Yeah.
wouldn't be available to Martin. So I think that's also helpful. So
Yeah.
I like that. That's
Good
a good
point.
play.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right,
Thank you.
cool. Who else do you like on the Heat?
I'm gonna go back to Bam. This was the only one of the 4 two-legged parlays we put out the other night that didn't cash. It was shocking that it didn't. If anything, we spoke before the game, and we were worried about the assists and not really even so concerned about the points. The 15 points, so 15 points and 3 assists is +110.
Yeah.
So it's the same odds on both FanDuel and DK. I mean, the 15 plus points, regardless of minutes, he's got an 81% hit rate this season
Yeah.
on getting to 15 points. I think, what he shot 25%. He was 4 for 16 from the field
Right.
in game 6. I don't see that continuing. I mean, Miami's good from the mid range, and like that's where Boston gives up the most of their shots. So I just think, he had a bad game, and I think he bounces back. I mean, he's had a few bad games in a row now. I think it doesn't even need to be a huge bounce back spot for him to get to 15 points. And I love the assist for him. I really do.
Yeah.
So I'm going back to that one. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it. I think you can also just do a straight up play. I'm he's not a 40-minute guy. He plays I'm trying to look at what he averages on the season. Normally on the season, yeah, he averages 34.8 minutes on the season.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the playoffs, he averages 35.6 minutes. So he's not a 40-minute guy, but he did play 40 minutes last game, and he's going to play 40 minutes tonight. So I'm just looking at 40 minutes for Bam in the playoffs. He's played 6 games in the playoffs in his career in the last 2 seasons with 40 plus minutes, and he's cleared 3.5 assists in 5 out of the 6 games. So I think that's good value in itself. He had 5 assists in the game the other night, game 6. And you get +110 just at 3.5 assists alone.
Nice.
So it's kind of it's correlated to your play. I like it, but I would also just play the straight up assists by themselves.
Yeah, I think that's good. The other one I liked for him, and it's another parlay, but you do 8 rebounds and 3 assists. That's -110. I thought that was also the 8 rebounds for him is like every single game, and the assists. I just I don't know. It seems to be the way he's he's not hitting it as much, but I think in this Boston series, I like the 3 assists for him here. So I thought
Yeah,
that was good.
that's pretty good too.
Yeah,
He's had 10 games in the last 2 seasons, including the playoffs and the regular season, where he played 40 plus minutes, and
yeah,
he had 9 plus rebounds in 9 out of 10 games.
mm,
Um, there was just one game earlier this year in March where he had only 7 rebounds.
okay,
So I think that's also a good play. I think
nice.
that's great. I think he's definitely in a buy low opportunity. He's super inconsistent, scary to
Yeah,
play, but he's also he had a lot of volume, right? And they need him to win. So
he has a lot of volume. He can get him in bunches. Like if he scores within the flow of the game. Like the offense is not being created through him or running through him really. But he can get them in bunches if like he gets in that rhythm. So
yeah,
I'd like to see that happen here in this game. That'd be great.
and even with Vincent back in the game, back in game 6, he was still bringing up the ball on several plays. So
Yeah, yeah.
all right, cool. Who else? Anybody else on the Heat side?
I just thought one other. It's kind of juiced up, but Jimmy to have 2 steals is -160. He's
Yeah,
done it all 3 games in Boston. So far, he had 6, 3, and 2. So I think he's going to try to make things happen here. I don't know if he has his legs. I'm staying away from the points for Jimmy and also his rebounds and assists. You don't know if it's going to be a rebound game, an assist game for Jimmy. So kind of I love Jimmy Butler, but I'm kind of laying off here. And I think this is the one spot that I feel most comfortable with him based on the lines that are out there.
yeah, I agree. I'm just looking at games where he's played 42 minutes
Yeah.
because he's definitely playing that tonight. Um, yeah, he's had a steal this season, 2 steals in 7 out of 8 games. So, so I think that's a really good play. I don't like the value, but
Yeah.
we'll find something to put it with, right? You can
Exactly.
probably
Yeah.
put it with the Heat getting 18 points or something like that, and
There
you
you
probably
go.
get it. Some good value there.
There you go.
So that's good. So you don't love Jimmy rebounds, 7.5 rebounds?
No, I do like it. I like that. I like that. I mean, I like his assist too, though. You know, uh, it could also be a game where they rely on him to score, but they almost won the game last time, and he until that last the end of the fourth quarter there, he didn't really score too much. So yeah, I think of all of points, rebounds, and assists in this game, Jimmy rebounds is my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at that after. I'm gonna see what 2 steals and maybe like 6 rebounds get you. I bet that gets you pretty close to plus money, or -120 at least, which I think is an acceptable play.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else on the Heat side?
Nope, that's it. That's all I had.
All right, so let's move over to the Celtics. Let's start with Big Al. Big Al let us down last game,
Yeah.
but it really wasn't his fault. He had 2 assists fairly early on, like maybe in the third quarter, and then he just had pass after pass to like guys for wide open threes, Marcus
Mm-hmm.
Smart and Jaylen Brown and everybody, Derek White. Nobody could hit it, so we missed out on our 3 assist play.
Well, it wasn't. Yeah, like you said, it wasn't for lack of potential assists. I didn't look up what I meant to look up what his potential assist number was, but I'd imagine it was
10
7,
plus.
6. I
think it was 10 plus. They missed
Okay.
a lot. I didn't look, but that's my
Yeah.
guess. But I will say one observation I had was Al Horford played 44 minutes in the game 7 last year.
Mm-hmm.
So he in general played bigger minutes in the playoffs last year.
Yes.
Would play probably on average 35 minutes or more.
Mm-hmm.
But I do see him getting increased playing time. He's basically playing, if he doesn't get in foul trouble and there's not a blowout, he's pretty much on a schedule to play 32 minutes. So I think that's a good baseline to use for your analysis.
Mm-hmm.
But I could also see him playing closer to like 36 minutes tonight. So anything that's standing out for you for Big Al?
Big Al. I was just gonna tag on there that I think that injury to Robert Williams, he hurt his, he got that karate chop from Kyle Lowry, and
Yeah.
left the game. It looked like maybe He kept grabbing it. Looked like maybe he wouldn't come back in. He did come back in, but you don't know how that stuff fares over the 48 hours since the game. So that may be less minutes for him, and I could see Al minutes ticking up, and I could see Grant Williams too, especially if he gets a 3 or 2 to fall early in the first half. I could see increased minutes from those two. If Williams is nursing something. So I had one thing for Al. It was a rebound parlay with actually
Okay.
Caleb Martin. But do you have a straight play on him? Maybe we'll do that. Touch on that first.
I mean, I think there's good value just in his rebound line at 6.5,
Yeah.
minus 130. Just looking at, his last 6 games that he's played, most of those were playoff games, where he's played 34 plus minutes, 14 rebounds, 8, 9, 11, 7, and 11.
Wow.
He had, what did he have? He had 7 rebounds in the game the other night. 11 in game 5 and 7 in game 4. So he's pretty consistently getting there, even with less minutes. So I think if he plays those extra minutes, he's going to end up with 8+ rebounds tonight.
Did you already mention that he had 14 in game 7 last year? Did you say that?
I was just about to get there.
I'm sorry.
No, I didn't even have it. I didn't have that number, but yeah, 14 in game 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, he played 40 something minutes. If he plays 40 plus minutes, this is a guarantee. Because he's really doing a good job of hunting down rebounds. So I would take the straight play at minus 130. I think it's good value, and he doesn't really need his team to convert. In fact, he will do better if they miss shots. So
yeah, there you go.
All right, and then we did have. I'll get to you in 1 second. We did have one play out on Twitter that we released from Marcus Smart. Just 14.5 points. All the analysis is up there, but he's just been a beast of late, and he's gonna play 40 plus minutes tonight unless he gets in foul trouble. So look for Smart to possibly put up 20 plus points tonight if he still stays hot from 3. 20 points, just if you're interested in a better value play than what we put up there, is actually over plus 300. So
the ball always seems to find its way to Marcus Smart's hands in these crucial games for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know if the data would support that, but just in my head, I feel like the ball always he's got the ball in his hands, and you saw it at the end of game 6, right? So that's it seems to always be the case. So I like Smart here in game 7.
Okay. Who else do you have on the Celtics?
Derek White over 20.5 PRA. It's minus 125. I think obviously even if Brogdon does play, it'll be low minutes. What did he play in the last game? White, he played I think over 40 minutes, right?
40 plus, yeah.
So I think you see that again, if not pretty close to it. He's 37 of 41 when he plays 34 minutes. 33 of 36 with 35 minutes. And when he plays over 36 minutes, this season and last season, 26 of 27 games, averaging 30 PRA. So a clear 10 over his line tonight. For some reason, it actually went down. It was at on props.cash. It was at 21.5 when I first looked this morning. And now in both DK and FanDuel, it's down to 20.5. So that's always not your favorite thing to see. But I think he plays big minutes and gets there.
Yeah, I mean he's only cleared it in 7 out of 19 games in the playoffs this year. Mm-hmm. But again, a lot of those games he was barely playing. If we bring that up to 32 minutes just in this playoff alone, he's 5 out of 6. Yeah. And the best part of that is he finished with 21 PRA last game. So that little last second shot not only won it for the Celtics, but it cleared that line. So, all right, I like that one. Who else do you like?
The only other one I had was Jaylen Brown. Another one of these parlays, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, but I mean it's minus 130. So I like when these parlays are a little bit closer to even money. So I don't love it, but again, just trying to scrape for value here. but he's a little up and down. But that was the 2 assists are like no problem. I think he's had that in like every single playoff game.
Yes, he
Um,
has.
yeah. And then the rebounds are up and down. I like that he had 10 in the last game. And he didn't get there in the series, but much. Early on, game 2, he had 4. What was that? Game 4, he had 4. But those, I mean, the beginning of the series was very different. Boston just looked like a team that gave up and whatever. Obviously, they're with game 7 on the line here. That's not going to be the case. And you got a game 7 with extra rebounds to go around. So I think in this case, the 6 rebounds and 2 assists for Brown are nice.
Yeah, and keep in mind he only played 39 minutes last game because he was in foul trouble, right?
Yeah.
And he still had 10 rebounds and 3 assists. So I think that's good. I'm looking in this series. I think he's only actually had 2 games where he's played 38 plus minutes because of either blowouts or fouls or whatever. In both of those games, he put up 9 rebounds and 10 rebounds.
There you go.
So I think that's really good value there.
And I think I didn't mention this, but I think his turnovers here are also pretty good. It's something we've been on the 2.5 turnover line. It's probably very juiced up, but sorry, my dogs are barking here. But we got I think he had 4 in last year's game 7. So yeah, I like that here as well.
Yeah. All right, cool. I think that does it. Anything else that you want to throw out there?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is a game 7, so for the most part, stay away from the point props. Like, don't go for anybody with like 30 plus points. I mean, Jimmy could easily put up like one of those monster games. So if you want to like go for something big and sprinkle something on 40 points for Jimmy and 40 points for Tatum, that could be fun. But
it's
like
fun, yeah.
$5 bet or something like that. Nothing big. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a nice competitive game. Definitely focus on the starters for this game for the most part because they're going to all play 40 plus minutes tonight.
I mean, Boston played a 6-man rotation essentially in game 6 and the Heat as well. So yeah.
Yeah. So if you're trying to find value on guys like Kevin Love and others, like that, like Brogdon, like guys who, whose lines are looking really low and really attractive, a lot of green bars on props that cash. It's for a reason. Like I would probably lay off of those guys, focus more on the guys we talked about, the guys who are going to get 40 plus minutes tonight.
Hayward Highsmith. Yeah.
He did look really good though.
He did in game 5, man. I don't know why he didn't even put him in. Especially at the end of the game there, if they had him on defense in that final play, I don't know if White, I could have seen him doing something there. So I think you see a few minutes from him here tonight, but nothing that we can probably bet on. So
yeah, exactly. I don't know. Prize Picks has minutes played, so I'm gonna pop over there later and
there we go
and look at that because if there's any starter who's going under 40 minutes on there, I think that's a good play to play the over as well. So
there you go. Yeah.
All right, cool. Right. Very good. Well, let's enjoy the rest of our Memorial Day. Go get some hot dogs, hamburgers, a couple beers, and then turn the game on tonight and enjoy.
Sounds good. Can't wait.
All right.
Take care.